What's going on, fam? Hopefully you guys are doing well. Happy hump day.
Oh,
how appropriate. The lover's card popped up.
happy hump day, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Wednesday. Happy end of the world leading up to day. I'm just making up words at this point. But glad to have you here.
Thank you guys for joining us. Obviously, a lot of people are asking questions in the chat, and we'll just come out and kind of the cat's out of the bag. So we just wrapped finishing filming our 100th episode for the Midheaven podcast. So that completes
We went from the
season
page
2.
to the king. Yes.
But we are going to be taking an indefinite hiatus from the podcast. So after the 100th episode, things are going to be a little bit different. We don't really know what the future holds. But I am moving. So
Texas.
yeah, I'm moving to Texas in 48 hours. So things are
Okay. You get the truck tomorrow.
kind of crazy.
That's
Yeah.
what's up.
So yeah, that's happening, and we're gonna keep the podcast. We're gonna keep all the socials, and we're gonna be experimenting over the next month or two, trying to see how we can still create content. Obviously, it's going to be different because we're going to be in different places, but we're hoping that we can like maintain. So even if it's doing like a monthly overview that's like longer and doing like a live show where we can still do readings, I'm hoping that we can do that.
Absolutely. But definitely
Yeah.
the hiatus is necessary just to give all of us a break to just like process. I just come to the realization we really did prepare you for the apocalypse. Like I feel like that was our North Node Aquarius mission.
We created the podcast and did the podcast. We started it in 2021 when Saturn was in Aquarius, when it had just fully entered into Aquarius. And while Saturn was on both of our North nodes, we came together and we created this with what started as an idea, but it was more to like bring people to like bring people together.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's true. We accomplished that.
Oh my God, no.
That just hit you right quick, really.
Yeah,
quick.
it's like such a cool thing that we did because
Yeah.
like we have such an awesome community of people. Yeah.
Of all demographics,
Yeah.
races, like I look at everyone who supports us, they're all from like different like places, demographics, statuses. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful. Woo! That's awesome, yo. I'm really grateful for the support we've gotten doing this too, as far as just like hearing all, I mean, and when I say hearing, many different people just feeling the need to say thank you for what you do. Thank you for sharing these perspectives. Really grateful, you gave us a lot of value and meaning to what we do. So, these lives definitely we're gonna miss for sure.
Yeah, we've been doing it for so long, and like it's just been so cool to be able to also like get to know you guys and be able to read for the community and give that back. And we've had so much fun doing this. Yeah, it's bittersweet though because we're gonna try to find a way to keep it going.
Absolutely.
Somebody keeps hashtagging died suddenly. Oh, thank you.
Hashtag. Shout out to our good man Oz. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Spacebug kept saying she was like, oh, I want to see Oz's chart, so I guess I can just give that to you. Just
You can
for the
finally
holiday.
disclose it.
Finally give you the... Finally. And when you see the chart, you'll totally understand it.
Oh my God.
Like, that's what a lot of people don't realize. It's not just Mike and I. Mike and I just sit here and drink and talk shit on the internet.
There's a producer of all of this, a Taurus producer that gives us the foundation, the literal foundation to do all of this. So shout out.
Yeah, Oz is my husband who's been doing all the production and everything, and he's also running the chat and everything.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Solid.
So with that being said, now that the cat is out of the bag, we're still gonna be doing readings. So if you are a level 3, if you want to get your reading, please do. Obviously, this is probably gonna be one of the last lives that we do for a while. We've got a number of people who are already in the queue. If you guys are not used to seeing this live show, this is a show that we do in between filming the podcast every other week. We have several more podcasts. We're going to take you all the way through Aquarius season. So we've got Capricorn season coming up. Hopefully you guys like that Mercury retrograde preview. And we're also going to do a recap, or I guess technically a preview of 2023, all the biggest transits of 2023, to get you guys through the new year. And yeah, if you want to get a reading, you can scan the QR code below. It's going to take you to our PayPal where you can scan and make a donation. So we're doing a tarot and astrology readings. $20 for 1 card, $40 for 3 card. Ask whatever question you want. Please put it in the memo, not the chat. Or you can ask a question relating to your astrology. So if you have a question about your natal chart, or if you want us to take a look at transits, you can do so. So scan the QR code, takes you to the PayPal. We need your name, your date, your location, your city, your state. So that way we can take a look at your chart and we can talk to you about whatever it is that you've got going on that you want to ask. And obviously we always start with our level 3 subscribers. Thank you. Some of you guys have been with us since the very beginning and you have supported us for nearly 2 years. So a big thank you to you guys. So we will start with Jessica Martinez, who was super generous. Thank you, Jessica, for supporting the channel and also for just always being awesome and hooking us up. I know that you have a reading, you have a question about somebody that you met and you want tarot cards as well. And we're also going to be reading for Shannon, the OG. Let's take a look. So, oh man. Let's see. So Jessica wants us to read for Shannon first. Or we can read, you have Jessica's chart up, we can read for Jessica. So Jessica wants us to take a look at
cards for Shannon.
So Shannon's gonna get cards and then she wants she has questions about a guy. So I put him in there. So I didn't put his name. So if you go back to Jessica Mann. There you go. So Jessica says, there's a man that entered my life
Cancer sun on
October
the moon,
10th,
yes!
2022. His birthday is July 2nd, 1986, Fairfax, Virginia. I don't know his time of birth. My info, obviously, we have yours. Astro question, who is he and why did he show up in my world? And she wants us to pull 3 cards with that as well. His name is Trey.
I love that his moon is exactly on her Lilith. And I like that he is her sun. So that is very auspicious because like I have a conspiracy with sun moon conjunctions or sun opposite moon. And that is a huge deal. So he's literally the vessel of your Lilith and erotic energy. But for him to light up your soul, this is very significant. You do have Athena on your moon, the vessel of the goddess Athena. And you have all this alien goddess energy. So I feel like as a natural priest, he's a Virgo rising, but he's a Virgo rising on your IC. So this is kind of soulmated here, especially seeing that he is going to influence the expansion of your career in MC. So he will kind of bring you a bit out of your comfort zone. I think it's very significant that his personality encapsulates your private self, which is interesting. His ascendant is on your IC and his sun is on your moon. So this is someone who really connects with you at a very deep unconscious level. The sex is otherworldly. Oh yeah, especially if he's on your moon and he's a vessel of your Lilith. And then your Chiron heals his Lilith. So this is definitely a soulmate relationship. This is a soulmate connection here. I'm just gonna be really honest with you.
I like the sun-moon connection and also the sun ascendant. That's really strong because it's technically in the 12th house Placidus, but it belongs to the first. So I love like when couples have the same sun and ascendant sign or like within a 3 or 4 degree orb, because the sun person is very much going to help usher the ascendant person into what they're here to achieve, or kind of like you guys are in flow. You know how they say that you read your like ascendant sign or your sun sign for your horoscopes? Super helpful to have that conjunction, and it's a double whammy also because you have his sun in conjunction to your moon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then the moon Lilith aspect, and then his Jupiter is conjunct your midheaven.
And then your sun is on his IC. So there's a lot of this IC, soulmate, private understanding. It's like your soul family to each other too.
What about the fact that his Juno is conjunct her Saturn?
Okay, so his Juno's 2 degrees. See, the thing that's cool is he's 86 and she's 85. So their Saturns aren't that far off. That's like being in the same high school. So you listen to the same bands growing up. The Juno adds a greater level of commitment that we'll see. So there's great potential here. What we really want to see though is since he's a Virgo rising, Jupiter has already returned for him. So Jupiter is your ruler. I think you're the influence in his life that can really usher in like this sense of partnership. But the reason why I was laughing is because I think this might be, I think you might have manifested this exact scenario. I think this is you kind of, even if you have to learn through a scenario like this, like I think you've manifested, this might be more manifestation practice.
I don't know if this is like a Sagittarius thing, but I feel like the Queen of Swords, the 5 of Cups reversed, and the Temperance card is a lot of like, oh, I was just getting used to and acclimated like being on my own. Like I was feeling good, like doing my own thing and having like freedom and independence. And like right when you're getting comfortable in that and maybe even a level of like acceptance with the Queen of Swords and the 5 of Cups, because the 5 of Cups reversed is like coming out of a period of feeling kind of like isolated or whatever, or like feeling disappointed. Then the Temperance comes in. So for at the very least, this person's coming in to initiate and bring healing. At the very most, it's almost like this is that turning point where you're like, hey, maybe I don't have to do life alone. Yeah. Or like I don't have to be by myself, or that like things do get better, or that it is capable for you to connect with somebody who...
Jessica, we're marrying each other, by the way, because I met a Cancer down the street months ago. I ended my run with, but that's kind of interesting. I thought that was really interesting.
We talked about him being comfortable and being a bachelor, but it's shifting and it's weird and it's awesome.
I think he's the man of your soul. Like I swear by Sun Moon conjunctions. Like it has the potential, especially with him being a vessel of your destiny and Lilith. Like that's really.
I've heard so many people who have met people in airports recently. Like I feel like that's like probably the 7th or the 8th time I've heard this, like in this last week or so. So many people are like, oh, I met this person in the airport.
And he has Jupiter on her 9th in the MC,
yeah,
which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the Jupiter midheaven is nice. Yeah. I really, really like his Mars. That is in your 7th, and it's in a sextile to your Venus. So at the very least, it's gonna definitely be like passionate and sexy, but at the most it may incentivize you to like want to think more about pursuing a relationship.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have the Mercury retrograde going through your 7th, and it's going to like touch on his Mars. So it's going to be like, wait, are we doing this? Is this a thing? And like how it's totally changing and transforming the way that you saw your future going when it comes to relationships.
Especially with Mars in her DC. So like this definitely for movies.
So he said I just got hired at an airport. Hopefully you find your forever person there. Venus loves that, just too late now. Yeah, but you got Venus going through your 7th house right now. So that's really interesting because Venus has been in conjunction to Neptune. It's going to continue to keep moving through your 7th house. It's going to come into contact with a Mercury retrograde. And Mercury rules your 4th. So I think it's like kind of you talking about, wait a second, this is a thing like you're leaving Texas. I live here. Like, where is this going? So the Mercury retrograde is probably going to be pretty colorful for you in terms of making some, not making decisions, but sitting down and having a conversation about what's next, you know?
I get the sense that if he did leave your life, he'd be back too. It'd be temporary.
Yeah.
Boom.
Hopefully that's helpful for you, Jessica. So let us know.
Cards for Shannon.
Shannon wants a love reading. I don't think Shannon's ever had a love reading.
I don't believe so.
No, right? Okay, so was this one? He's in the army. How appropriate with Mars in your 7th.
You're right, yeah. And it's exaltation.
Cards for Shannon. He wants a love spread. Keyword spread. How appropriate. All right, let's see what the cards say for Shannon. Those of you guys who are making your donations and getting in the queue, thank you for your patience. You can scan the QR code below if you would like to get a reading. All right, so this is love spread for Shannon. This one, that one. All right, so this is the order that came up. 9 of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Chariot card.
Looks amazing.
That's a really good spread.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
I'm wondering if like Shannon has like an intuitive hit or a hunch that there is somebody coming in, or maybe he got a reading or he had a vision or something like that. 9 of Cups is wishing for connection. From what I remember, isn't Shannon a Libra rising with Libra first house?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, eclipses in your 7th house, Jupiter, that's going to be going into your 7th house. I mean, this is really significant. He knows this person is coming. Yeah, he dreams of them. Yeah. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, like that state of maintaining that high frequency of being like, oh, you know, like there is definitely somebody coming in, connecting, wishing for them, you know, trying to kind of like let the universe know that you're open and you're ready to like connect. But this is almost like getting excited and getting happy prior to even meeting that person. So you're kind of having to kind of act in like different dimensions, if that makes sense. The High Priestess, which is about waiting and receiving information, tuning into like what's coming in, especially if you said that, you know, he's having dreams about this person and like picking up that this person's going to be coming in. It can also talk about like a true intuition and like knowing, and that this whole experience is about learning more about relying on his intuition in general. But it can also be wise information that's coming to him. So he might be feeling like he's trying to connect in meditation, or he's trying to like go to readers and like, you know, connect and like look for signs and like symbols from the universe. But this is about receptivity, being open and waiting for that to kind of show up. Then the final card is the Chariot. So it's cool to see the High Priestess and the Chariot. Both are cards that are very lunar. They're about the subconscious, the intuition, nighttime. But the Chariot is being like, oh, they're on their way to me. They're going to be moving to come and see me. Or like, I'm going to run into them while they're traveling. Something about transportation, transit, also like letting the intuition be the guide. So maybe he's going to start listening to his intuition more, or like reading cards, or like reading his horoscope and being like, I don't know, I just feel like there's this thing I have to do, or I have to go to this place, or if I go when I take this vacation, or if I go and eat or shop at a certain area, I'm going to meet someone. It's about following those intuitive hunches, and where it's going to kind of help him get on the path much more quickly. Especially because the Chariot deals more with like where we're trying to get to in life. It can also talk about where we're going to be living. So he might notice that there are going to be relationship opportunities that are going to pop up that are going to positively impact his home life, which I have to say is very true for a lot of Libra risings, because Saturn's in the 5th house and Saturn rules your 4th. Jupiter going into your 7th house makes me feel like there's lots of opportunities for road trips, meeting people while you're out of town, meeting people where they're out of town. So trying to kind of mix up your routine a little bit is definitely going to happen, you know? Very exciting though, because it does seem like it's on the horizon. And I would say especially the months of like March through June is probably when you're going to see this get kind of really lit up, just based off the timing of these two cards. And also I would say just the eclipses, knowing that there's an eclipse that's coming up in his 7th house, and that's going to be around mid-April. So I don't know if it's just that he's feeling drawn to a place or like what, but like likely that's going to be some of the symbols or the signs in regards to connecting with this person. Hopefully that's helpful for Shannon. I want to hear all about who he ends up connecting with in meeting. It sounds very exciting. Let's see, who else do we got here? All right, cool. So I need to go to the mountains. There you go. He's already in tune with where he's got to go. So we've got Kelsey and Rebecca and Rachel. You guys are on deck. Jennifer, Marsha, Dwan, Amber, and Alana. Thank you guys. We've got you. Also, Dreaming with Tess. Thank you for your super chat. You're in the queue too. So you got Kelsey? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Kelsey says, I'm ready for my stepdaddy. I love that. Kelsey says, I just got back from a vacation with a guy I've been seeing off and on for years now. I really care about him a lot and opened up a bit to him about how I'm feeling, and I'm trying to figure out if he sees this as going anywhere serious, if we're just going to remain friends with benefits kind of thing. Not sure if he's just terrified to be in a relationship or just honestly doesn't see one with me in particular. I think I took him by surprise asking, and maybe he's just as confused about his feelings too. But now I'm more confused than I was prior to the trip. Was wondering if you guys can look and see anything in my chart that might come around later, and maybe he just has cold feet about the idea. Not sure whether to give some time and circle back into the conversation in a few weeks or a month. I don't want to give him an ultimatum, but I'm not sure if I should wait and see or if I'm wasting my time completely. I have his date of birth, but not... Okay, where is Kelsey? What's his birthday? Oh, look at those transits.
Well, I'm just going to straight out and say you're one of the greatest Scorpios of all time. Like, you got the Saturn, Neptune, vessel, alien, so like...
I love her chart. Her chart and my chart are so similar.
She's elite. So like, Kelsey, like, I'm gonna just be real with you. Like, you got options. I hope you're not stressing over one boy. Like, you got kings that are about to fight over you. So like, you know, I know you. I'm not gonna dismiss the connection you have with him, but like, I don't want any part of you to feel anxiety because this is a trial period. He's actually preparing you for the Jupiter through the 7th suitor fight that's about to complete when Jupiter goes into Taurus opposite your sun. Like, you're getting prepared for marriage and all that. So you want to be more focused on if the experience of your dating life matches what it is you're building up to. Not that you have to have unnecessary standards, but...
Jesus, I'm stressing over one dude. It's terrible.
No, stop. You're breaking through the Pisces illusion. Like, you have suitors. Like, you're going to be met. Your real problem is, who do I choose? Like, Jupiter and Aries is going to prove that in less than 12 months from now.
Yeah.
So it's very important what you're going through with him, because this dude is preparing you for what's to come. So this is letting you know, like, what do you want? What do you not want? So you have to really accept you are not limited. You are one of the greatest pure queens of all time. You are not any Scorpio. I'm literally sitting with Hades right now. You are the
Our charts are so similar. She's born a week before me. I mean, the one thing I will say is that you have some very, very strong transits that are going on right now. And
you're going to see them when Jupiter goes into Aries, trust me.
Mars is retrograde in opposition to your Venus sign, so you're going to feel like love is at a distance, and even traveling, you don't know if that's going to bring clarity. It's also square Neptune. Mm-hmm. 2, I also see that Pluto is coming into a square with your Mars, and Mars rules your 7th house, which means, do I hold on to certain people or do I let them go? Now, it can be romantic partners, counselors, therapists, business partners. And then Pluto will be in that square for a hot minute. So let me know how it goes, because you're going to have it before me. And then 3, you also are going to be seeing that the South Node is coming for your natal Mars. And that literally could like spell out for you that you have to let somebody go. I think when Pluto comes to 0 degrees and when the South Node sits on your Mars, you're going to have to ask yourself, am I with this person? Do they make me happy? Is this true love? Could I see myself being with this person forever?
Or your idea about them.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's also going to be about whether or not you can see yourself having a future with them that could produce a child, because Saturn's in your 5th house all year. Pluto is going to square Mars. So you're not going to be in this like wishy-washy situation with Pluto square your Mars. You're going to be like, okay, if they're not making me happy, I have to leave, even if that means that I don't have companionship. But Pluto coming into a trine with your ascendant is going to put you more in check and in focusing on a relationship with yourself. Jupiter's going to be in your 7th. You're going to have plenty of options. And then the nodes are going to come into a square with Pluto and Mars. So if he's still not making you happy by July of 2023, then there's your sign. But the problem is by then you've already had eclipses taking place in your 7th house. Like, don't miss a perfect window opportunity next year to meet like the person.
Baby fever has been flipping real.
Yeah, it's because you have Saturn that's been on your North Node, and it's going to be like this back and forth that's like, do I get pregnant because I want a kid, or do I wait for the right person?
She's destined to have a kid. She has to wait for the right person. And the thing is, the Neptune square is blocking you from seeing the potential you have. Like, once that Neptune square is done, you'll see hidden in plain sight all this. You're going to find out people have been checking for you, but they just didn't move forward. And the thing here is also, that's not to say who you're with could be the one, but the thing is, you know, there's just a change in how you see how much more powerful you are. Remember, you're GOAT squad. So 88, 89, 90, like, we are late bloomers. Like, with Saturn and Pisces, you're going to start blossoming your powers. And then remember, Kelsey, you're also Moon, Neptune, Saturn, Uranus. So you're going to blossom those superpowers for the first time ever in your life. And this is going to give you a freedom that's going to break you through limitations you thought you had that you never had. So you're going to have so much more freedom by the time Jupiter's in Taurus in May. In May.
Yeah, and the South Node's going to hit your... You're gonna have a South Node hitting your Juno, and then you're gonna have
oh my God,
eclipses. Yeah, like basically you're gonna realize that like you are the partner you've been waiting
Straight
for.
up, yeah. Because you're the queen goddess.
As much as I hate to say it, like with that Cap and Scorpio stellium and Juno in your 1st house, you're super self-sacrificial, and you'll give anything to a relationship, and you're gonna realize like, oh, it's been me all along. You know,
straight up. And
that's what's going to totally change the game. But when you have a strong positive transit to Mars, that's when you're going to see relationship stuff happen. Jupiter's going to be opposing it. So you're going to meet people who are going to be more generous, more giving, and it's going to also totally positively impact your resources.
Yes, circle around, Kelsey. Imagine you're the baddest bitch alive on the planet. Would you care? You're giving him the chance. Like, you're one of the GOAT pure queens. So it's like, you don't have to, you're not really being stuck up or anything. Just let him know how you feel, because act how you're acting as if you have all the options in the world. And April 2022. 3 is your deadline, because it's I feel like by then you're going to move forward with a partnership.
Well, also I would say like the last call for this personally makes me feel like it's going to be mid-March, when Mars is direct and it opposes your Venus and it squares the Sun and Neptune.
And it's cool that you want him too.
It's a lot of like, if you're not ready, then I'm out. She gave us the date. I want to look at this really quick. July 27th, 87.
Leo. Okay. 87 means he's Saturn Aquarius. Oh, Saturn Sagittarius. So Saturn, Uranus, Sagittarius, Leo, Sun. So that means that is a square relationship. That's not too bad.
Yeah, but he's got Venus in Gemini in opposition to Saturn, Uranus. Has he already been married and divorced once, or has he just had commitment issues? Because I don't have a problem with Venus and Gemini. It's the fact that
they both have moon cap.
It's the fact that Venus is in opposition to Saturn and Uranus in his chart, so he's had lots of changes in relationships, and like there's like a coming and going, or where they turn over every so often. So by the time I was right, by the time Mars comes into the opposition with your Venus, you have to know. And yeah, he's got Saturn on your Venus, which means it's karmic. And honestly, that's a little challenging.
It's like he's preparing her for the relationship she's meant to be in.
Yeah, you're still in your Saturn return, honey. Yeah. Commitment issues. Yeah. I mean, Venus and Gemini can commit, but the fact that it squares his nodes and it opposes Saturn and Uranus makes me feel inclined to tell you, be very careful with Saturn and Uranus in your 3rd house. because that's going to be communication issues. And I agree with Mike. It's preparing you for the next relationship. And I would say give this until mid-March and that's it. If you can hang on that long, because you don't want to miss out on those eclipses in your 7th house pretty soon, you know.
Was it 88 or 89?
I thought it was 80.
87.
Oh, it's 87. Sorry, I take that back.
It's all good. Because he said there's Venus in Cancer.
Oh, I thought it was 87. Sorry, I couldn't see that.
It's all good.
Oh, he has Pluto transiting Pluto in opposition to his Venus. So he's afraid of like domestic stuff right now, and he's got Venus behind his sun. So the challenge for him with Mercury retrograde, Pluto in opposition, not even that long. I would say you want to give this until mid-January. But at least the Venus is in Cancer. It's just Pluto's coming in for the kill shot with the opposition right now. And Saturn is still in his 7th house. So probably he'll be more so ready like February, March. I like the Pluto-Mars connection. And also, I should say, his North Node on your descendant, on top of your descendant, and his Jupiter in your 7th. See, to me, that's the partner that's good for your growth with Jupiter and the North Node in your 7th house. Have you had several relationships with people from 1987? You should, because the North Node and the Jupiter aspect, if you've had several of these. I think he'll be more so ready in the spring, but I would still have the conversation with him probably right around the time of the Mercury retrograde, which is going to be at the end of, literally the end of the month going into January, so you can go back and forth. That's what I asked him, if he was terrified of getting hurt. Yeah, give it a little bit more time, and then you're going to know after the Mercury retrograde. But the fact that Saturn's on your North Node, I think it's having conversations about what it is that you're looking for, what you're looking to do, not necessarily so much him. And watch, because Neptune is coming into a very long extended square to your natal Venus. Venus rules your chart, and as Neptune's coming up on your 7th house, somewhere in like 2025 to 2027, Saturn and Neptune will come into your 7th house. And that can be a very significant make or break time in a relationship. So for a Libra rising chart like this, as Saturn and Neptune go into your 7th house, I'm not going to say that you're going to get divorced, but you need to see the red flags now going into relationships. There needs to be clarity now with relationships. And if somebody is telling you they're going to do something, if somebody says that they're all in, then they actually have to be all in. Because you don't want to be dealing with a nightmare situation when Saturn and Neptune sit on your descendant and they're squaring, right? And Venus and Saturn are going to come into a square too. So be very forthcoming about what you're hoping to achieve in your life, basically, in this next year. And communication is going to be king. Hopefully that's helpful for you. That definitely is very confusing. Thank you for being patient while we got the right date there. Let's see. So we've got Rebecca.
Which one?
This is January 26, 81.
You got both of them.
Oh, okay, cool.
Nice.
Rebecca says, I filed for divorce in October of 21 and my ex just signed the papers this week. The divorce process was long and rough, but it was much harder living in that situation all the years prior. Does it look like I will catch a break at the end of the year approaching into 2023? Now that this hurdle is behind me, this is for Becky.
Wait, Becky? Oh, Rebecca. So the break that you're talking about is literally Jupiter through your 7th. You literally nailed it right now. So, and then Saturn is going to leave your sign. So Saturn was the limitation and the test going through your sign. It's going to go through Pisces. You have a literal breather. Jupiter's going to go through your DC. And now that you've cleared the energy, all the opportunity and suitors is, I don't even think you're going to be looking for love, but it's just going to be everywhere around you. So, well,
Saturn is also conjunct Mars. So you're clearing a lot of karma the last 2 years with
and her
Saturn.
DC's in Pisces. Oh, no, never mind. No. Her DC's in Aries.
With Saturn on your South Node, Saturn on your Mars, Saturn coming into conjunction with your Mars and Mercury for the last time. It's been about learning to be comfortable being on your own, especially because it's trined your moon and your natal Pluto. So
I didn't know she has Moon, Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn on the rising. You're a whole alien goddess. That's crazy. On the south. You come from the ancient future. Oh, Rebecca, you're not even from here. Okay, so you definitely had this entire karmic. I don't know who you were with, but like this is very accentuated because this is opening you. I feel like your whole relationship was an embodiment of symbolically the ills of social culture as a celestial alien goddess. And it's like, see what happens when I date one of your mortals, and this is what happens. And I know that sounds weird as fuck, but like this is really iconic because the North Node is going to go into your 7th house in Aries, and you're like literally leading the charge forward towards innovating completely and quintessentially partnerships. We're entering into the new age of Aquarius where you come from. So like this is you finally releasing all the burden, because I know what it's like to have Moon Saturn, but you have Moon Saturn Pluto and Pluto with Jupiter. So it's like you're releasing the burden of what it's like to embody the social current you've been in and now lead the charge with Aries into your personal attitude. I wish I could say that better too, but like that's fucking crazy. That's extraordinary. And I look up to it because you're literally on my MC in Aqua, but that's really paradigm defining. I feel like even the representative of this divorce, there's so many layers to it that that finalizing alone is your big break, and then moving forward from there.
it's kind of crazy to me because like, you know, Mercury's going to go retrograde all around your Venus, and you've got Saturn leaving your 4th house. So it looks like you're like reevaluating what it means to like have a home and family and like redefine your space and have more freedom when it comes to how you want to feel emotionally and being better with boundaries when it comes to your home. So it looks to me like a lot of the Saturn transit has been that. So when you say that you need peace, yeah, Saturn is conjunct your Mars, so you don't want conflict, you don't want it in the house. Saturn's coming into conjunction with your Mercury, so you need to rest and take care of your mental health and also be probably meditating more and taking time to be out in nature because it's in Mercury rules Virgo, or learning more about meditative techniques or spiritual techniques. So you have more peace, and also what makes you happy, learning how to communicate and define more of what makes you happy because Aquarius is your 5th. I also feel like right when you're like, okay, cool, I need peace, I'm doing my own thing. Here come the eclipses, here comes Jupiter, here comes the North Node in your 7th house. You're getting ready to also have Chiron come into your 7th house. So usually what happens with a Libra rising, what I've seen with these charts is once you go through like the kind of battered situation with the relationship and you learn how to redefine your foundation, somebody new shows up and you're like, I wasn't looking for a relationship, I just wanted to be by myself. But somebody shows up very quickly to kind of put you back into a relationship and show you that you can be a part of a dynamic of two people, but you're not losing yourself. So what you're going to see in this next year with Jupiter in opposition to all of your Libra is going back and forth, maybe with somebody at a distance, especially because it's going to square your Venus, and you're going to be traveling to see them or talking on the phone a lot. And like, it's going to give you the opportunity to really sort everything out and get very clear about what your needs are. I know you're not looking for a relationship, but Saturn sitting on your Mars at the tail end of this Saturn transit may bring someone in.
Yeah, now that you're not looking for it.
Yeah, and through the Mars-Saturn transit, you're also clearing out lots of family karma through relationships. So if you were unwilling to do that with family members or with a parent, now it's happening through the relationship that you have had. So good on you, a huge karmic clearing. And don't look at the Saturn square Uranus as a bad thing. I think you're just learning how to redefine yourself without things. You're like, I don't need things, I just need peace. And you're willing to kind of part ways from relationships as long as you can have that. So yeah, things are going to get easier. You're going to really start to feel things lighten up a whole lot more.
I'm glad she said boundaries too, because that's the eclipse in her 8th.
Yeah.
on her Chiron. So this is also
Yeah.
unlocking your supernatural healing natural energy that's gonna just like really break through how you can practically apply it towards every situation you have as celestial queen.
Hopefully that is helpful for you. Thanks for your donation. We appreciate it. We've got Rachel. Then we have Dreaming with Tess, Jennifer, and Marsha. Yes, there's more people here. Just letting you guys know when you're on deck. So we got Rachel.
We're gonna do the tarot after the astrology.
Okay, so Rachel says, wondering when love life and career will become more solid. Both feel so uncertain.
Because you're a Virgo rising, and Virgo risings are dealing with the collective's bullshit. Because
They are.
you made the mistake of being the realest motherfucker in the most delusional period of human history possible. And you could have decided to be crazy like almost everyone else, but nope. You decided you want to be a real ass motherfucker, especially with your sun in Taurus, so you just solid as fuck, and then you got your moon in Gemini, so you're truly solid, you're a true boss. So the thing is that I don't think you're gonna like to hear, first of all, you're a vessel of the queen goddess Juno. You are truly that bitch, and I say that respectfully, okay? But you like, your moon is right next to Juno, so as far as love and money, you command that, my friend. You're born in 84, and of course with your Saturn that's in Scorpio, the Saturn square is breaking you through the initialization of the return of your power. And so you're getting ready to liberate the lifestyle you live relative to this. I have to emphasize alone, you are one of the true vessels of Juno here. So Virgo risings have been attracting dreamy relationships, but it's also been showing you through the superficiality of everything that glitters not being gold. So now that Jupiter is getting out your DC, everything has been set in place. You've done all the work. You're a perfectionist. It's not that you can't get money and love. It's that you don't settle for less. You can get any scrub off the street right now if you want. It's not that you can't be with somebody. It's that you're the queen goddess and you have Uranus on your sun. So this innovation of your philosophy is having you pioneer methods of thought socially that aren't even really mainstream. So when Saturn leaves Aquarius, the illusion is going to dissipate. Saturn's going to go through your 7th house over the next 2 years, going to prepare you for marriage or business partnerships. Everything's set in place. You can really come into this right now. But what Sagittarius season is preparing you for is the foundation before the 5th house Capricorn transit that will have you actually meet relevant people you already know or new people you can develop something with. So honestly, as the queen goddess on your moon, just say you want it and let the universe deliver it to you. But I feel like as a Virgo rising, the universe gives you opportunities and you're like, nah, that's not good enough, or nah, not that, or nah, not to say you're too picky, but just to be more aware of what you're consciously creating.
I like the fact, I mean, it's I'm not going to candy coat it. Mars retrograde for Virgo rising right now is a doozy because it's so many planets in Sag. You're in your feelings, you're reflecting on the past and your home life. It squares Jupiter, Neptune. You're like, where's my person? And work feels very hectic. But what if I told you that the Mars retrograde is happening and it's causing havoc for good reason? It's trying to get you to be more assertive. That's what it's trying to get you to do. So Mars in Gemini retrograde is like, am I not speaking up for myself at work, when it comes to my superiors, when it comes to my relationship with men? Mars rules your 8th house of transformation. So it's about you speaking up if something bothers you, if you don't like something, or if something's, not working. Also, Mars is forming an exact yod the next couple of days because it's going to be at 12 degrees to your Saturn in the 3rd house of communication, to your Jupiter in the 5th house of romance. So it's about you talking about, this makes me happy, this doesn't. I love this, I don't love that. I want to participate in that, this is not my problem. So through the frustration, it's trying to get you to really speak up more. And if you're feeling like a raging psycho, It's kind of part of the course right now. I also think that the building square between Neptune and your 7th to the moon in the 10th house is trying to get you to be less understanding and compassionate to people who are just using their bullshit to try to get you to do more than you should for them. At work, in relationships, it's like, be very careful with that Neptune square, because you can have a tendency with that transit to be like, yeah, I totally understand. I'm, trying to be sympathetic to the fact that you have this, that, and the other going on. And it could be with business partners or romantic partners. Intuitively, I feel like the Mercury retrograde is so important because it is going to be your chart ruler. It's going to go over your Jupiter, which is the ruler of your 7th house. It's a time where you're really going to be focusing on whether or not you're bringing in partners who are divine partners who are going to help you focus on growth and also make you feel loved and wanted and supported. So don't fear the Mercury retrograde. It's going to trine your sun. It's going to trine your ascendant. It's going to conjunct Jupiter. It may very well be the time where you can rework some of your relationship dynamics and really focus on being able to bring people in who are going to make you feel like you're loved. That's really what a lot of this is about. I'm not even watching the polls, but I can only imagine. Yeah, it's a good time to be really focused, I think, more so on what makes you happy, not necessarily relationships or work. What's going to make you feel the most alive? What's going to make you feel the most happy? Keep asking yourself that, checking in with yourself and being like, does this feel good? Is this in alignment? That's what's going to help you. Yeah. What is that? There we go. I don't even know what that was. Right. Hopefully that's helpful for you, Rachel. So we have Dreaming with Tess. Do you want to get back to us and let us know your time?
I got Tessa.
Oh, you got her? Okay, because she said she's checking the time. Said that the birth time was 6:30 and not 8.
Oh, okay. 6:30 p.m.?
She's not sure. She's checking it. We've got Jennifer, Marcia, Dwan, Amber, Alana, Uzvi, Wesley, Elizabeth M, and Elizabeth G. Oh, she wants tarot. Okay. We're going to do tarot after the astrology, so just hang.
Tarot? Dreaming with Tess.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay.
Just hold tight. We're going to do all the tarot at the same time. So we've got Jennifer. Yeah, we can do that for you. Jennifer, Marcia, and looks like Dwan, and then we're gonna do tarot. Okay, so Jennifer, is she in there?
Let me see. Jennifer, what? Z, no, let me
Okay. We're gonna keep the everything open for you guys to get in the queue for a reading for probably like another 8 minutes or so, 7 or 8 minutes.
19 what? 76.
What's up, D Cosmic? How's it going? She says she bought for her hubby. No, it's not too late. You can jump in there. Reading for her husband and wife that watch you guys often. Do you have any particular question? People are asking questions about the king. Okay. 7:44 p.m. Yep, you got it. Let us know if you have any particular questions.
Oh, that's Todd.
It's for her husband.
Okay.
For Todd, yeah.
So, but it says husband and wife, so we don't have her.
No. She's just she said it's for her husband.
Oh, cool. Okay. So let me actually
just transits to it. Got it.
So this is for Todd.
Yeah.
So transit forecast. Let's see what we got. So Todd, we see you have your Virgo rising, another Virgo rising chart. That's very interesting. Jupiter has expanded your partnership. We know that you are a celestial king. You're one of the incredible celestial kings, like the man on the moon, Kid Cudi, who got water bottle thrown at his face before he quit rapping because he just can't stand mortal beings. Which I can understand with Pluto on your moon. You just hate mortals now. You just hate the whole fashion. I don't want to set you up as some uppity motherfucker, but you do have Virgo rising. And Virgo and Aquarius dealing with human beings as a cat moon is insufferable. I do like the fact that you have Mercury on your moon, so your ability to incredibly process information in alignment with your own emotional receptivity to what you're processing gives you such a legendary quality of a celestial Aquarius sun that definitely enables you to pimp people's literal lifestyles. And Pluto has been awakening this element of your inner child before it goes in your sixth. So you've evolved your lifestyle, okay? This is going to go into Aries and begin to really innovate your boundaries, preparing for a Jupiter return while you have been preparing for a Chiron return.
There's 3 Mars returns going on for you right now. One of them's happening, just happened, the second one.
So he's going through a whole career renovation.
Mars retrograde in your 10th, have you rethinking the direction with work, but it's in opposition to Neptune. So it means that there's a lot of like, where are we living? Where are we working? And it's like you have to go back and forth with your partner a lot about what the plan is, like what the goals are.
Yeah. That's very deep. Especially, you know, the North Node that went through there, you're now anchoring the philosophy towards what direction to move in your career. And I just love that it's a nodal opposition. So a lot of the skills that you've been mastering in order to actually teach what you've learned are now putting you in a position to apply that to relationships you're with, to literally save people. A lot of people don't know you're saving their life because you're giving them insight before they know they need it. So it's literally you operating light years ahead of people, which is so fucking Aquarius. It's not even funny. But yeah, it definitely goes a long way. You completed your Saturn return 2020 and you're really on gear for taking your life's work to applying towards the people who it matters most. So that's really amazing.
Just moved to, was it South Carolina or Southern California? From Illinois, trying to find a home with land. Yeah. Retrograde, I think in general for Virgo risings is a lot of like getting acclimated, but also having the space to focus on 5th house. So self-work, working with children, changes in schedules, things like that. And perhaps maybe the Mars in opposition to Neptune is trying to find ways to incorporate and bring more art and creativity into, teaching and working with the kids. I love that he has a 5th house stellium, and Pluto and Saturn have gone through there, so there's just much more emphasis on like working with children these last few years. And you're gonna have a Mars return and a Jupiter return at the same time. So I think there's also some strategic changes going on with like curriculum and things in regards to what you're actually teaching your kids. And it's not just like traditional education. I could see this as being like life skills with Mars in opposition to Neptune. The one thing I would say is Pluto is coming in for its opposition to his Saturn. So this is going to be more about authority with children and whether or not you guys feel like the kids need more socializing, because Pluto rules the 3rd house of communication and learning, and the opposition to Saturn. So on one hand, it can be, how do we get the kids socialized while they're being homeschooled? How can we get them kind of meeting with other homeschooled kids, or how can they like do things socially so they're more socially acclimated? On the other hand, I feel like it's going to be you guys basically saying to him that, to your children, that it's time to monitor or limit screen time or social media, if that's something that they're already doing. And yeah, Pluto is the dead. So Pluto in opposition to Saturn is like anything in regards to mediumship type stuff as well.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so very, very interesting. Lots of really big transits happening right now. Go and learn about the Pluto opposition to Mercury. You're going to have to be a little bit more of like a disciplinarian with your kids. And I also think that it can affect the mind and communication in general.
Most definitely, yeah.
So we have Marsha. So let's see. Concerned about my relationship. Okay, so
Does she want a synastry or does she just want like a...
Let's see. I'm concerned about my relationship. Okay. I think she's just asking in terms of how it's going to affect her. I don't think she wants to know about the dynamic.
Okay, cool.
But we can just put the date. We don't have to put the time. So just making sure you're just asking in terms of how they're related to you. You're not asking a synastry question, right? So Marcia is 12/18/1970 at 10:32 a.m. in Kansas City, Missouri. And then I'll wait for you, sorry. And then we'll look at the date 4/6/55.
4/6/55.
At 55. At 11:19 a.m. Also Kansas City.
Kansas City, Missouri.
So she's asking, is he karmic or past life?
Karmic. Oh, wait. It might be both. Okay. December 18th.
There we go. Thanks for the patience.
Boom.
Oh, Pluto. Hi, Pluto South Node. Yeah. Yeah, Pluto South Node.
And the moon, too.
Yeah, but also North Node Sun. You guys have karma and dharma. You know? So, like, I view karma as, like, neutral. It's neither good nor bad. It's just basically, like, where you've been and where you're going. So
they got opposite Saturns, too.
Yeah, so when you have planets on the South Node, it's kind of like, oh, we've done this dance before.
They have opposite Junos, too.
Yeah.
That's karmic as fuck.
And you've got Pluto. So I like it when people have planets that square the nodes. So I like Mars square the nodes because it brings in action. But their Pluto on your South Node is like this feeling of like this like really intense connection, and it can be too intense and there can be lots of egos going on because it's in Leo. But it can also be like there was like a lot of love and passion and something that like really binds and brings you guys together. Just food for thought, like next summer, July and August, when Venus goes retrograde through Leo, it'll go retrograde through your South Node and also their Pluto. That'll be a time to watch because it's going to square Jupiter and Uranus in your whole sign fourth, which can be a lot of like, are we living together or not? Are we growing the home base and relocating or expanding our home or not? And
I can
that's,
imagine
yeah.
that Aries 55 is youthful, and then you might be the more, even though he's older. It's very interesting of a dynamic. And
Saturn, Venus too.
I've read astrology for over 10 years, and I've never in my life seen Saturn, Jupiter opposite Saturn, Jupiter by a couple over 10 years. That is insane.
I say that it's growing pains. Like you go through periods of like having to like actually grow. And their Saturn on your Venus is also, to me, that reminds me of South Node Venus.
And then his Mars is on her Saturn, and then her Venus is on his Saturn. That is insane. I've never
Do you
seen
guys
anything
have
like
like,
before.
do you guys have like
karmic as
conflict over like who's in charge? Because their North Node is on your Sun. So that's supposed to be able to kind of incentivize you to like let you be like, this is how it's going to go. Or be optimistic and be like more positive and more Sagittarian about where your guys' lives are going. But both of you guys have fixed placements. Both of you guys are stubborn. The Saturn-Mars opposition means that there's going to be periods where you're going to be like, I need to work. You need to stay home, or we need to live here, but you want to live there. Like what's been happening with some of the Saturn transits is it's been coming into some landlocks with both of your guys' placements.
And the reason why it's insane is because the probability and odds for you to have an opposition like this is like winning the lottery 5 times in a row. That's insane. Yeah. I'm sorry. Like you'll never. I've read charts for 10 years. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, the battles are the fixed squares. So it'd be really interesting because you have so many placements in fixed degrees. You guys are going to have a lot of midpoints in Aquarius because you have Scorpio placements, you have Leo placements, and you have Taurus placements. So the reason why the last 2 years has felt very intense is because Saturn has been going through a lot of your guys' midpoints. And now it's coming into conjunction with your North Node, which means you feel like being like, I need boundaries. I need to stand up for myself. This is what I need. It's squaring his Mars, so there's conflict. It's opposing his Pluto. So it's kind of the grand finale.
And that was the eclipse point too.
Yeah, that's not easy, but I feel like Saturn-Venus contacts are very binding. I feel like if you have that, it's like, no, we stay together until the end, especially when it's in Taurus and Scorpio, because both signs don't want to walk away because they've invested too much financially or too much emotionally.
The South Node's unlocking that, and then you personally have Saturn going through your nodes and your rising. So this is kicking off a new like business brand.
Well, and his Saturn in opposition to your Saturn, you guys have like different karmic roles and responsibilities, and it can mean that possibly, with that Saturn-Venus opposition, I don't know, or the Mars-Saturn opposition.
Because with Pluto opposite that, I don't know how much longer he has to. He's very youthful with the Aries, but that's very interesting. I think you might be facilitating him into transition.
Well, and there's going to be a Mercury retrograde in his 7th conjunct Pluto. So that tells me also that part of what's going to be coming up for him is going to be whether or not him and a partner are on the same page. Like, look at transit Pluto. Transit Pluto is in his 7th house, square Neptune, and it's in opposition to his Uranus. Everything is about whether or not you guys are making moves, taking the initiative to make changes with the home base or not, and if one partner leaves the other person behind.
Just know that Uranus is unexpected health complications in the 6th.
Yeah, but is it karmic? Yeah, but you guys have a purpose together, right? So the South Node is what brings you guys together in marriage, but the North Node on your Sun is putting you in a position of being in charge. Oh, I'm sorry to hear he's having health issues. Yeah, you'll know more when Saturn leaves Aquarius. So when you're getting into March, that's when you're going to know what's going to go down. But it seems like it's stuff relating to like home stuff. Dewan, thank you guys for your patience. Just so you guys know, we have a running list. Dewan, Amber, Alana, Yuzvi, Wellesley, Elizabeth, M, Elizabeth G, Delisha, and Dreaming with Tess. I did not miss you. Don't worry. We're doing tarot last. There we go. So we have Dwan. 12/14/88.
Nice. It was already halfway there. 7/16.
Thank you, Marcia.
AM, Detroit, Michigan.
And that was at 7:16 a.m. Cool. Question is, what is my greatest strength and my greatest weakness? How can I best channel my inner warrior? What do you have in Aries? Oh, look at that first house stellium. And Mars in Aries. I like how Chiron's going through Mars.
Happy birthday, brother.
Yeah.
And we see your GOAT squad. So 88 is key because I spoke to Candace about this. 88 and 89, you guys are going to have the Saturn sextile before us in 90. We're going to have the North Node conjunction with Pluto, but you guys are going to have the Saturn sextile, and then you're going to have the Aquarius Pluto conjunction with the nodes. So like that's going to blossom your superpowers, and then you're going to head into your destiny. Versus us, we're just going to plunge into our destiny, and then our powers are going to blossom like while it's happening. But it's all going to happen at the same time, and I really appreciate you being the Sagittarius portion of this equation, because you got Uranus 0 degrees, you got Mercury 0 degrees, you got Saturn 0 degrees. So you're processing 2020 different than most people. You have claircognizant understanding of how things just like magically happen for you in the most supernatural of ways, that now that Saturn's going to sextile all this, for the first time ever in your entire life and existence, you can control as simple as just thinking and breathing about it. And that's going to give you an unprecedented amount of freedom and power as a Sagittarius rising on your AC. What the fuck? Oh my God, that's crazy. I'm done. I'm not even
I like how you ask, how do I channel my inner warrior when you have a first house stellium?
You have superpowers.
And you also have Mars in Aries.
You're a super manifester.
So when you ask like what are your strengths, like you walk into a room and you light a room up, but you're not always aware of it. If you have Sun in the first house, that's super strong. You have Sun, Mercury, Uranus, and Saturn. So the way that you communicate with the world is very unique and very different and very, I don't know, it's very independent and very fierce. Strengths, I think, of the fact that Chiron's coming into conjunction with your Mars and you're realizing that part of healing is channeling inner anger in a more positive or productive way. And I think that for you to be having your Jupiter return coming up here in the next couple years, and you're also going to continue having eclipses in your 5th house, I think it's really important for you to share your talent with the world and be on stage or be creative. I wonder, like, do you have a fixation with like health?
Your greatest strength is your greatest weakness. And her question is very important because of Jupiter on your 6th. But your greatest strength is your greatest weakness. You represent Sagittarius risings born from 82 to 95. You have an ultimate legend. The gem goddess, Leo King's ex-wife, has this. And she's close to 1 million subscribers on YouTube. She has Pluto in her 12th in Scorpio. So you guys are strange as fuck because you have secrets that no one will ever know, but you have absolute wisdom. You have Venus here. Your greatest weakness is that you love so fucking extremely. You will give it all up for a fuckboy or a fuckboy. But this makes you so fucking intuitive that through the pain you've gone through, the extreme pain in your heart that you've gone through, you're overcoming this weakness with the South Node forever, bro. You will never go through this ever again. I'm assuming you're a bro. My bad, Dewan. But like, this is very important. You're channeling your inner warrior now, but like, you're overcoming limitations and weaknesses you've been struggling through your whole life. It's never going to be like this ever again, 2023. It's like,
I feel like the Mars retrograde for like a Sag Sun, Sag rising is also like, how do I learn how to work through conflict with other people? And like, do I have the right to be getting upset or to be getting mad or like anything like that? So I don't know. It's an interesting transit with you. Oh my God. Hey JLo, what's up?
That's always wild. I love it.
And the squares right now with Neptune is learning how to communicate, and I think it's about like soft power and not like getting angry and reactionary, but like learning how to communicate and use words or journal through that process. So that's really important for you to be present with all the emotions that are coming through right now. Lots of medicine with that Mars retrograde for you. Look into Chiron transit your natal Mars too, because I think that like having fun and like playing games and like, you know, tuning into your talents is what's actually going to help you fine tune that.
True that.
All right, so let's see. So that was one. Never marry and divorce for follows.
Oh my God, stop.
Let's see, Amber.
Looks like she on Sinistry.
Thank you, Sam. We'll add you to the queue.
626.
82. And it's at 11:28 p.m. And it's in Lafayette, Louisiana. I'm reading some of these. Hey, Paula. Okay, and then the other one
Amber Man
is 11/11.
Oh.
86. That's at 1:34 p.m. Lake Charles, Louisiana. Yeah, the chat's going crazy.
Embarrassed for 25%. Would you be the Leo? Oh. I love it. Oh my God.
People have a soft spot for Leos.
Shout out to Liana.
Oh, I just lost that. Where'd that go? There we go. Was it this one? This one. Right?
Honestly.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, no, wait, wrong one. Shoot.
wait, what was that?
No, I clicked the wrong one. So, this one. Amber. All right, cool. So she says, what stands out about our chart is our double Neptune conjunct Pluto conjunct rising vertex
double Neptune,
midheaven. Bad news, or is this temporary?
It's actually the beginning of something new because Jupiter is 29 degrees, so it just evolved from January 2022 to May. The self-concept of both of you, him as a Scorpio sun and you as a Cancer sun. So both of you are deeply in love with each other in a real way. Both of your composite sun is 7th house to the rising. So this is a real partnership dynamic. The thing here though is you're getting ready to awaken superpowers in how you emotionally manipulate and control other people. And he's getting ready to awaken natural psychological influence over people's body language. Both of you can become supervillains if you wanted to, and I think you might be disagreeing on what direction to go. He might want to be a hardcore Dark Lord, and you might want to be a superhero. And you're gonna, I know that sounds weird as fuck, but like, this is Cancer Scorpio shit. So like, this is gonna be y'all kind of maneuvering as Pisces risings, what direction you want to go through. And you have the North Node on your sun, so you're a progressed Leo main character with destiny on your sun. So just keep that in mind, because the South Node is on his side. I feel like he's going through a straight villain arc. I don't think he's a bad person. I think he's I think he's pure and he's sick and mortal. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I don't want to judge. I want to like sue for him, but like, the Scorpio is not playing this time. I'm just saying they're very anti-villainous right now. Like they'll do the right things in the wrong ways if they have to. So this is gonna be. I feel like y'all relationship is like a movie or a sitcom in and of itself. But you're manifesting the value of this coming in the next year, which is his destiny. He's manifesting destiny next year. And Jupiter going through this with the April conjunction 2022 is going to bring to a head very favorable conclusions, you know what I'm saying, or directions. I think both of you coming together was destined. This is very Wheel of Fortune-y. And yeah, what do you feel?
I feel like with the Uranus Jupiter opposition that's getting ready to happen to his sun, it's about like positive relationship changes, but it's going to definitely come with like a little bit of like a wake up, like somebody being like, hey, like this is what I need from you, or this is where we're going, this is what we're doing. Like a lot of Scorpios are going to have really dramatic changes in their relationships as a result of those transits the next 2 years. I don't know, the Mars in your 12th house could go one of two ways. I think the fact, it can be sexy, but I also think the trines to the South Node and Pluto and Saturn in the 8th also talk about clearing something. Jupiter in opposition to your moon, I like that. Moon opposed moon can be challenging emotionally relating sometimes. I'm not really concerned about all of the things that you have going on in the 10th house. I think that just the fact that your sun signs and your ascendants and all that stuff kind of like resonates very well, and you guys have ascendant signs that are within degrees of each other, it's a pretty decent dynamic. Neptune conjunct Pluto conjunct vertex. So Neptune conjunct Pluto, what does she mean by that? Like transiting? I'm not seeing a Neptune-Pluto conjunction. Vertex rising, bad news. Oh, you're talking about the ascendant with the transits. I think that the oppositions to the vertex right now are just bringing up the fact that you guys might sometimes like mirror one another. Personally, that's just kind of the feeling that I'm getting. I don't think it's a bad dynamic, but Yeah, I mean, if he's stepping out of line with Saturn square his Sun and Saturn on his Mars and Jupiter Uranus in opposition, like as a Scorpio, regardless of the rising sign, there's big changes that are going to happen on the home front and also in regards to relationships. So it's kind of like time to like really step up with some of these dynamics. I like that you guys have the same ascendant degrees though. You guys are going to go through the same transits at the same time. And this Mercury retrograde that's kind of coming up in Capricorn is also going to be about talking about your guys' goals. Mercury rules your 7th house. So it's where are we going? What are we doing?
They have opposite moons.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize
that can be challenging with the Neptune square, honestly.
That's beautiful though. That's like soul partnership. So that's very destined to me. That's very fated.
Yeah.
I like that. So next we got Wesley.
All right, so let's see what we have here for Wesley. Wesley, yeah, we're doing tarot last, guys. Don't worry, we did not forget about you. Wesley, 3/13/92 at 5:05 a.m. And that was in Columbia, South Carolina. Wesley says, what direction should I go career, business, money-wise? I'm so good at a lot of things, but I just kind of want to narrow it down.
And carpool bus. Wesley also got another, could you click the other one? Because it did 2 more, so I don't know if you had different questions. So we can do a card pull and then an astrology reading for Wesley.
Oh, I think he put, for one card, he paid an extra 20 bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll pull a card for you. Yeah.
Yeah, but then there's also
there's a 1. Yeah, so he did 60 and then so it was 70. Yeah. So it's 1 card. Right here.
Was 60 for synastry? Or
No, he just wants us, he did 70 total. So we want to look at his chart and then pull a card.
Gotcha.
You have his info, right?
Was there any question in the $1?
No, let me go look. But I think that's what that was for.
Okay.
There we go.
Sweet. Aqua rising. We know you're a high king.
Yeah, just purpose in general.
That's what's up. Juno.
Asking questions about money as Saturn's getting ready to come into your 2nd house.
You're about to secure a fortune for your entire life. Right now, you've been wanting to know the vision of what that looks like. And your legacy is to be seen in this world. So Saturn has been anchoring with your Saturn return, the return of your consciousness since you were born. You're becoming the high king you're meant to be. And high kings and queens with Saturn on their rising is you coming into the realization that you command the space around you. You literally have galactic real estate. And if you listen, especially as a Pisces sun, you don't even need to judge this, bro. But like, if you command certain things, if you literally want it to rain right now, it will rain right now with your Cancer moon on the south node. Like, this is just facts. And so it's like, what do I do with all this fucking power? How do I see myself as? This is literally taking your sense of self-worth to a skyrocketed new level beyond what you thought was possible. And this is why I make fun of you Pisces all the time. I will never stop making fun of Pisces because I will forever be jealous of y'all. You shouldn't even be here. Like, at all. You're from Andromeda. What the fuck are you doing here, Pete? I'm gonna be honest. But anyway, you're clearly here to be an ascended master and lead humanity in the age of Aquarius. And with great power comes great responsibility. And this is going to be you taking this new brand. I feel like Saturn through the rising is starting a new business. It takes 2.5 years for it to go through the first. It takes 2.5 years to take a business off the ground. So, like, you are literally on the precipice of breaking through everything that brought you to manifest who you truly are, with Neptune right next to your sun. He literally has sun on Juno. You rep the queen goddess and you have Neptune right next to your sun with Juno returning. Who are you for real? I feel like you're not even really like here for real. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say too much, but we do know your moon is in Cancer and you really feel the feels. So this is gonna, the thing I like with Pisces is you get everything last, but it's like everyone has finally caught up to your level, and then you can influence the next step forward. So I didn't mean to necessarily make jokes, but like this is really, really fucking powerful, man.
Well, you have all those planets in the first house, so you're very entrepreneurial and you're like really good at starting things.
29-degree Venus, I didn't even see that.
So I think what's going on right
shit.
now is because your whole sign second house is Pisces, Saturn coming into Pisces is going to help you really truly define like what it is that you value. Making money, well, I mean, the sun rules your 7th house and it belongs to your whole sign second. So it's about taking on a partnership. I mean, to be honest with you, like you're going to be in a situation where you don't realize it, but you're going to end up owning a business with like a significant other because Saturn will hit Juno and also your sun. So over the next 2.5 years, as you're focusing on initiating something, it'll either be a client or it'll either be somebody that you meet and you take them on and you start working with them. Equally, I think that it's a challenging time with Saturn coming into conjunction with your ascendant because it's sitting on your Mars and you feel like you want to be self-made, but you have been having setbacks. When Saturn comes out of a square with your Pluto, which will be in the new year, things are going to get easier. And it's been my experience when Saturn conjuncts Venus, you find something that you really truly love and value. So I think that you'll be willing to put a little bit of either time or energy or your own resources into launching something. In terms of business, you know, Jupiter rules your 10th house and you've got Jupiter in the 7th. So once again, you need clients or you need a partner or you need to be able to sell something to other people, even if it's selling yourself or selling your wisdom or selling your information. So I could see you doing well with like consulting. And Jupiter is in a square to your midheaven and also your IC. So you definitely need another person. I would say like perhaps either a business partner to help you balance this stuff out or considering like going and getting like a business mentor who can help kind of guide you and go in the help you guide in going in the direction of where you want to go. Because the sun is connected to your 7th house and it's technically your whole sign second house, when Saturn comes into conjunction with your sun over the next 2 years, that's a very big building process when it comes to like a business in general. I have a second house sun, and when Saturn went through my second house and it conjuncted my sun, that's when I built my business. So you're still doing this for the next 2 years, but you need some guidance and assistance from another person to help you kind of find the path. I would say use the Mercury retrograde to strategize and really look at what you have been thinking about launching or doing. Know that Neptune coming into conjunction with your sun can also be really great for like getting involved in Neptunian things. So intuitive stuff, things that involve beverage or food, things that involve travel, anything connected also to spirituality or meditation. I think it's going to be about giving advice or giving guidance, to be really honest with you, which is why I feel like consulting would be so good with this chart, because you're going to be able to like talk to other people about how to start businesses or how to kind of like launch things. And that may be the business in itself, because you're kind of like a jack of all trades and you need to really spend the next 2 years fully defining that. And then you'll start really seeing, I think, the money coming in. You might find a business partner next summer. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting with some of the transits in this next year. South Node Moon. Just making sure I'm catching all of it.
Oh, Sam, could we get your birthday info? Sam Norton. Please send your time. Birthday.
Oh, yeah, send that. We've got you in the queue. Don't worry, Sam.
Sam sent super chat. And then we have cards for Wesley.
Oh, yeah. So let's pull a card, too. Let's see. Page of Cups. Which is so funny because that's the card for Pisces. So that's like really talking about initiating like new emotions and feelings and connections to other people. It can be talking about you using your intuition and like letting that guide what you're doing work-wise. But I think that that's about fostering a new potential business relationship. So I'm wondering, like, do you do any one-on-one with other people? Is there a sense of you like hoping to have a romantic partnership where you work with another person? Are you open to the idea of also being able to do something that's either like more creative or something that's going to be more like intuitive? Page of Cups is like dipping your toe in the water and like seeing like what kind of comes of it. So I feel like this is encouraging you to be more creative and more intuitive with the direction that you're going. And
Sam,
also,
do you want cards or astrology? My bad. You love too with the Page of Cups.
yeah, but I think it's going to be a relationship that's going to factor into work, honestly.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we got Wesley. So we've got Elizabeth, and Delisha. And then Sam, let us know if you want tarot or astrology. I'm always meeting and talking to people.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
Do we have any of the Elizabeths?
Let's see.
Here, I'm going to add all the astrologies at once.
Okay.
And we could just...
I'll read it to you to make it easier.
Awesome.
So Elizabeth M. Elizabeth M, I need your info.
Capricorn rising, Venus. Yeah, we need the info.
And then I'll come back to this. Okay, so...
Sam, please send us your sun, moon, your date, birth, and time of birth. Or your sun, moon, and rising. We can do it by that, like that.
Sorry, I clicked the wrong one. The other Elizabeth right here. Okay, so let's see. 11/9/89, 5:09 a.m. And that's Fullerton, California. Okay, and then she wants us to look at somebody else, but we'll look at that in a second.
Oh, like Sinistry?
Yeah, but it was, yeah, but we'll just pull the date.
Okay.
Then we've got Delisha. And that's 2/14/1990 at 1:52 a.m. in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Queen.
Okay. And then Sam, can we get your info? Here's the other Elizabeth. This is Elizabeth M. And she is 11/14/84, 10:56 a.m. St. Paul, Minnesota. And you are very welcome, The Cosmic. All right, so that's all of them, right? Elizabeth, Delisha. Okay, I have to add one really quick. And then,
For Elizabeth?
no. Spacebook wants to see Oz's chart, so I'm going to put it in here. No. I'm not going to put your name.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I like how somebody can say they don't believe in astrology, but they're so adamant about
Privacy is privacy.
I'm not putting any personal information.
It's a Scorpio rising.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start with Elizabeth M.
Let's do it.
Okay. So for Elizabeth M, your question was, wondering how this new moon in Capricorn will affect me. What should I be paying attention to? Good question. So, hi, it's conjunct your Venus. Yes. So the new moon, that's going to be on the 23rd. There we go. It is going to be at 1 degree. So it's conjunct your Venus in Capricorn, and it's in your 12th house.
Boom.
Okay. And that is pretty significant because it's going to be kind of like a reset that you're having for your natal Venus, which is whole sign ruler of your 10th. It's about your career. It can be really great for setting new intentions in regards to the direction with your professional life, taking initiative. It's really great for your love life also, and it's really good for your spiritual growth because it's going to be in your 12th house. But a new moon conjunct Venus can be an indication that over the next 6 months, there's going to be a change in your appearance in some way. And possibly even just like a new style that might be emerging sometime around the summertime, potentially. Okay, so 2, new moons are new seeds of intention. So for all Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, obviously it's significant because you're setting new intentions in regards to your goals. It's going to be in conjunct your moon, so it's trying to push you out of your comfort zone into relating more with other people. It's also going to sextile your Pluto, so it's really powerful in terms of your philosophy and your beliefs. It is going to square Jupiter in your second house. I think it's trying to get you to think more about coming forward with some of your talents, because Jupiter and Venus tells me in the 12th house you're very talented. But it's also some kind of like clearing that's going to be happening physically. Spending time in nature is really important. Obviously work with earth elements, so crystals, being outside, hiking, yoga can be really helpful. But I think it's a good omen because at the time of the new moon, not only do you have Venus conjunct your moon, which is your 7th house lord, but it's also going to be ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is finally coming out of a square with your sun and your natal Saturn. So it's like you're going to start seeing the really positive effects, I think, of all of the hard work that you've been doing, either financially or maybe your self-esteem or something in regards to like your career. It looks like the Saturn squares have been really challenging now that you're having Saturn come out of your square with your natal Saturn and your sun. So better things are on the horizon. You're not going to have to work so hard for your money, personally. And I also think that there may be like a blessing that comes at some point. It might come when Jupiter comes into the square just shortly after, like right around the holiday, or it might be something that's coming closer to the full moon in Capricorn, which is going to be taking place obviously next summer. But very spiritual, very private. It's a time to like really sit and meditate and manifest, and maybe be giving offerings to Venus. So I would say jewelry and stones and things associated with Capricorn, flowers, and just time to sit and rest and reflect, because a new moon in the 12th house is really about that. You'll feel more of the power of like the next new moon when it's in Aquarius, because it's going to be conjunct Pluto and your Mars, so you're jumping into action in some way, more so next month.
Next we have Elizabeth G. Oh, let me put in Sam. I got her birthday.
I like how they're trying to delineate his chart. Okay, so Sam, you have it? Oh, okay, cool. That's what you were taking a picture of.
1985, 4:32 p.m.
This is funny. And we have the other Elizabeth. If people know my chart, they're going to laugh when they see his chart. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep. And she's also a 2nd house Scorpio sun. I can't believe that.
There's so many of us 2nd house Scorpio suns, Libra rising.
You got Juno on your rising, which is very significant.
Oh, her birthday is 2 days before mine.
So you're definitely the Queen Goddess rising for sure. That's definitely important.
So Elizabeth says, I'm so grateful for you both. Want to say thank you for sharing your time and energy to all of us astro nerds. Your show has been the highlight of my week since you kicked it off, and you helped me be a more confident astrologer. Thank you. Can you talk to me about what you see coming up in my relationship next year? My natal Venus conjunct Uranus, Saturn, and Neptune always add a layer of confusion to my love life. My birthday is 11/9/89. His birthday is 3/1/98. Sending you positive vibes for your move. Peace dealer, I don't miss a magical moon message. Thanks for being so reliable. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Well, I mean, Mars transits are going to affect you because you're a Libra rising.
She's in his 5th house. He's in his 5th house.
So let's pull his chart. But the South, for all of the 89 Scorpios, the South node's coming for your Mars. So let's see. So 98. 11, wait, no. Oops, sorry. It was 3198. Let's look at that. Oh my goodness, sorry guys. 3198. There we go. I guess what I was getting at is that the South Node is coming for your Mars. And that doesn't mean that the relationship isn't going to work, but keep in mind that the second house is possessions. So for a Libra rising, Mars and Scorpio, it's like whether or not you hold on to the relationship or you let it go. His Pluto is in Sag. North Node is there. Is this right? Yeah, okay. Moon is going to be somewhere near your descendant. Mars is conjunct your moon. That's sexy. I mean, just in general, though, in regards to like your transits, you have to understand Pluto is coming into 28 degrees. So it's going to square your ascendant and your descendant. So that tells me it's putting the pressure on you learning how to communicate and also define what it is that you need in a relationship. His Pluto is in Capricorn, which squares the nodes, and transit Pluto is coming in conjunction with his Venus. So it's basically about him going through a huge, profound change in a relationship with a woman who is older, Capricorn. You're going to have an eclipse on your descendant, and then Jupiter is going to show up. So the same thing with a lot of the other Libra risings, eclipses in your 7th, North Node in your 7th, Jupiter going into your 7th, really strong period of time for relationships, but you're going to see the square to Pluto happen on and off all next year. So basically what's going to be happening here is like you have to figure out whether or not you can build a solid home and a foundation with another person, with this potential other person. I like his Venus on your IC or conjunct your IC. You know, he's got Venus conjunct Neptune. And next year, Saturn is coming for your moon, and it's also coming for his sun. So it's looking to me like more, are you guys truly, genuinely in love? Could you see yourself being with this person? Could you have a kid with this person? I say that because it's your 5th house. He's got Mars on your moon. So it's going to be talking about what you guys create together. What you guys have in terms of your romantic life. Next year, he's really in for it, man. Saturn's going to transit his Venus, his Jupiter and his South Node, and it's going to get close to his sun. So it's going to be whether or not he has the potential to be more than just a lover, if he can actually potentially be like a significant romantic partner. I don't really feel like you have anything to worry about, but know that the eclipses in the South Node aspecting both your Mars and your Pluto is very significant. And being that your Mars and Pluto is in the first house, it's going to be about whether or not you're laying down your armor and learning not to be defensive in relationships. And Saturn right now coming into conjunction with your North Node is like trying to kind of keep you grounded and like by yourself. So you may feel for an extent over the next year that there's like a process of like learning to get to the point where you can like actually potentially live with another person. It's not bad synastry because you guys have a lot of trines between your Scorpio and your Pisces. So obviously you guys are going to get on well, but my concern is that Saturn in Aries belongs to your 7th house. You're going to have an eclipse on your 7th house. So really pay attention to what's going on in April. And he has potential to be baby daddy energy, honestly, with that Mars moon and all these placements in your 5th house. But it can manifest as you feeling like he is a child that you're taking care of. And it has nothing to do with his, personally, it has nothing to do with his age. It has more to do with the transits that he has in the 5th house in general. Yeah.
Lighten it up. So next we got Sam.
So Sam was asking, how do I figure out who I am, get into a relationship with a loved one and make bank, get a job? I'm good with the best specific talent. I just need to know how to change as I consider healing. Okay.
Well, you don't have to know how because it's happening right now. Happy birthday. You are literally coming into the solar return that's going to facilitate all this for you. Oh my God, I forgot.
And he's back.
My bad. So you are literally coming into the solar return that's going to facilitate happy birthday in advance all of this activity that will realistically facilitate the vision you have for yourself. And you have your MC in Pisces. So since January to May of 2022, you've evolved your career. And you're going to take action with the right people from January to May of 2023 to step this forward. So every single question you asked, you're going to take action and answer from January to May of 2023. Congratulations. Everything you're not aware of now, you're going to come into awareness post-birthday. And this perspective is going to let you know what actions to take in Capricorn season moving forward. So it's definitely a lot to look forward to, because especially being born in 85 with Jupiter in Aquarius and the North Node in Taurus, you finish this return that is establishing this new cycle of your destiny. So you want to really think that you've done all the hard work already, and now all you have to do is just show up for what you deserve. So I feel like Jupiter in Aries is going to have you take expansive action towards connecting with people you've been destined to meet, but don't even know exist until now. Congratulations.
I feel like the Mars retrograde in your 12th house is having you go really deep into like healing, like spiritually, psychically. A lot of this you have to do like in private or kind of on your own in general. I also feel like with some of the transits that are going on with Saturn coming into conjunction with your moon, like the vibes can feel very heavy emotionally, and also it's really putting an emphasis on defining who you are and your values and your resources. So Saturn conjunct the moon until about March. Your mind is on your money, but you're also really committed to like investing in learning or teaching or anything in regards to like energy, right? Aquarius. So I could see you like taking on a mentor or a significant teacher. I could see you like paying for a program. I could see you doing some like teaching and educating yourself. And it's going to feel so much better once you have Saturn out of that sign. Then come the new year, you're going to have Jupiter coming into Aries. So that's going to be activating everything in regards to developing groups, bringing together groups of people. So it's going to be about kind of, with your North Node return. So finding the right people at the right time in the right place, like building your network with other people. So it's getting out there and meeting other people that can help you forward some of the stuff that you're hoping to achieve when it comes to your career. Saturn coming into your 10th house is like go big or go home. And for a Sag sun with a ton of Sag, the next several years is going to be Saturn square Saturn, Saturn square your Mercury, Saturn square your Venus. It's staying on track, taking care of your health, and also focusing on your schedule, right? But once Saturn leaves your moon, home and emotional feelings and things like that are going to get so much easier. And personally, Saturn at a 2 in your midheaven is like making money through something spiritual. For you, it's just about maintaining the balance of your mental or your physical health in the process of all of this, you know?
Boop.
Okay, so before we go to tarot...
We have one more Diwali.
Yeah.
I mean, Dewan. Do we do Dewan?
No, we did it.
We didn't. Okay.
Yeah, it was, we did that one.
We did do Dewan.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're on tarot then.
Okay, so I'm going to show you Oz's chart really quick. So you can take a picture, you can look at it, and then we're going to do
Tessa?
Tessa's going to have a 3-card reading. Those of you guys who've been patiently waiting. Alana, Uzavade, and that's it. So you're welcome, Sam. Delisha, she says, I sent one to...
Delisha,
That's what it is. Okay, I got you. Okay. Oh yeah, that one. We have her in there. Yeah, the one from Baton Rouge. Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
So Delisha is the Sag rising. I feel significant changes are underway. However, I'm curious to how things will transpire. So we know you're a Sag rising. You are an ascended being with the celestial queen spirit on the North Node because you're born 1990. You're
Saturn sun.
Mm-hmm. You got superpowers. So the thing is, as an Aqua Sun Sag rising born in 1990, you have to accept that you are on a level of incredible ascension that is greater than most mortals around you. I have to say mortals because as an Aquarian born in the 90s, stepping into your new age of Aquarius with the North Node of Aquarius, the weekend is literally your captain partner. Soldier Boy is our vice captain partner. And you know how notorious Soldier Boy is. So like you're on a level and parallel to leading consciousness in humanity in a way that like you cannot hold, like the Saturn 12 house is your ability to hold yourself back because for some reason you listen to other people's dumbass opinions about what they think anything is. But Aquarius is I know. So 99% of people
freaks me out sometimes.
yeah, like you've been accepting that nobody knows shit and you actually have knowledge. Like you have superpowers. Sagittarius rising superpower. I'll say clearly I don't know shit. I love congratulating that. It's my point of enlightenment. But Aquarius is no. So it's like you have the superpower to manifest anything from your imagination or mind with Neptune and Uranus into reality through Saturn. And with great power comes great responsibility. And you are blossoming your supernatural abilities while you are the captain of our destiny group. So you're understanding this new voice. You're the voice of a whole generation. And a lot of the stress is going to really break through in how powerfully you can create a lifestyle coming into May of 2023 that with this eclipse unlocks the occult nature of your spiritual beliefs. Because like I said before, as a Sag rising, born from 82 to 95, you have an ultimate legend. You're like the gem goddess, who has close to 1 million subscribers, giving one of the dopest pick a card readings ever. You have absolute wisdom, but the square is your aqua sun. So you've dealt with this hidden sense of enemies and envy because you know too much. And this is going to really unlock a lot of what your whole life you've led up to in Louisiana or being born in Louisiana, breaking through into stepping into what you've always been meant to do. There's no more inhibition. You're no longer being held back. And it's a good feeling. Congratulations.
Well, you're going to have a Mercury retrograde in the second house. So yeah, there's going to be some reorganizing things financially, but the new moon is technically in your first. So you'll say it belongs to your second house being a Sag rising. So setting money intentions, sure, but not really. That's going to be the new moon that we're going to have in Aquarius. The new moon is in your first house belonging to your second. So it's about self-esteem, values, your spending power, what goals you have in terms of finances. And it's going to be an interesting one because it is going to be at, I think it's going to be at like what?
1 degree, the new moon.
1 degree, yeah. So it's the beginning.
Square Jupiter.
Yeah, in opposition to your Jupiter. So it's creating a T-square between Jupiter in your 4th and natal Jupiter in your 7th. So that new moon is going to activate the apex of Jupiter in your 4th. So expanding your home, your emotions, your intuition, your family, venturing new places, thinking about what you could be creating new.
What do you think will happen when Mars goes over Jupiter or our Jupiter?
That's gonna be, well, yeah, that's even more change due to relationships. So yeah, in a positive way. Just use the Mercury retrograde to reorganize what you value and what you're spending money on or what you're eating. I mean, you have a stellium of planets in the second house. So when retrogrades happen there, you feel it. So it, 2022 started with a Mercury retrograde there. We also had a Venus retrograde there. We're going to end the year having another Mercury retrograde next year there. So it's all working out the Pluto stuff. Cool. So you've learned how to trade. So, I mean, I think personally,
you trade?
I mean, look at all that, those planets in the second house. You know a lot about resources and money.
I might have to hit you up to teach me how to trade because any traders, y'all are about to change the game. Like a lot of this like financial trading.
Yeah.
I feel like people could trade crypto or Forex. Like you guys are going to know loopholes before any of us know. So especially Aquarius traders, like that's crazy.
Yeah, but Saturn coming into conjunction with your sun is you've learned something new and now you can teach. So what you're feeling is, that Saturn's getting ready to hit your sun, you're like, I know, maybe it's an idea to write a book, start a podcast, create a YouTube.
And then Uranus in the 6th is everything that you've learned, you can replicate to teach people how to live in their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Consistently. So
yeah.
that's lit.
So cool. Really exciting. All right, so here is Oz's chart, and then we'll do the tarot. I feel like Spacebug earned it.
Right, Spacebug has been so faithful.
I will not cut to it.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I love how Scorpio rising this is.
This is so ridiculous. Are you really not going to cut to this? He will. He'll cave. Why can I?
100 likes. 100 likes.
100 likes is
Oh my
worth
God,
it.
you're so ridiculous. You're so ridiculous.
Yo.
Is the cancer crying? How many likes do we have?
93, yeah, we gonna need 100
7 more
for sure.
likes. Guys, if you haven't already
We gonna
liked the
definitely need
stream,
100
please
for
like
sure.
the
I
stream.
co-sign that. Oh, snap. Damn, the way I've just been like
Losing things.
just misplacing the shit out of things. Just stupid.
Okay, well, we'll hopefully we get to 100 likes. We just need more people. If you haven't already liked it, please like it.
You want to do Tessa's reading for now?
Sure. So let's do Tessa's reading. Where is she? There's Sam.
5 more.
Come on, guys, we can do it. Like the stream. Like the stream for us, please. Tess, it's way back there, so
99.
there we go. You're gonna have to show it. 101.
Yeah.
There it is. Making your demands. Tess, if you want to let me know what your question is, again, I appreciate it.
I love it. Okay.
No worries. No, she's saying she's gonna use it for her question. All hail the power of the chat. That's great.
Right.
Where I lost for some reason it's not popping up. Probably because it was so long ago. Whatever the cards say, looking for a good relationship and career. Okay, so that's Oz's chart. You guys can see it. I will leave that up for a second. Spacebug's gonna lose her mind.
Juno on the horizon. I mean, Athena on the
Yeah,
horizon.
it's Palace.
Palace. And Pluto.
Have you seen his chart before?
Not really. I've heard you talk about it. I haven't seen it. I didn't really do Jupiter on Venus. Okay.
Facebook says, I got it screen capped. All right, so this is for Tess. She has questions about anything in regards to relationship and career. Oh, 2 of them.
Oh, nice.
All right, so this is what you need to know. 7 of Wands, 2 of Wands, 5 of Wands reversed, and an extra one jumped out, which was the 2 of Swords. So I see this as you being like, I'm just trying to kind of handle business right now. I'm trying to stay on top of everything, feeling like maybe when it comes to like work, there's a lot of competitiveness. Not a lot's really coming up in regards to like relationship type stuff. This to me seems more about taking action when it comes to your career. If you're looking for a good relationship, I feel like the 7 of Wands and the 2 of Wands is like right when you're in the process of being like, okay, I'm sick of looking. That's when something pops up. 2 of Wands is keeping your options open, and 5 of Wands reverse is not pushing the river. It's interesting that you get Wands, Wands, Wands. To me, that kind of feels like you're taking a step back and you're not pushing so much. You're not focusing so much on relationships. Sorry, I moved the cards per se. You're more focused on the action of going out there and just like meeting people and not having any expectations in general. 2 of Swords coming up as the confirmation card is like, do I focus on career? Do I focus on relationships? Like feeling indecisive and pulled in 2 different directions. I have a feeling that like Sag season has been really very interesting for you, because to me this seems like you've been bombarded with like all of this fire energy and you're trying to figure out what to do with it and like how to use it in a productive manner and not get frustrated and feeling like you're like running in circles. Five of Wands reverses, the final card, is like just saying, you know, that there's no need to feel like you need to push things, that you can't like push things. Not just my career, I haven't been on a date in over 2 years. What is your rising sign? You have Cancer in your chart?
She's Cancer rising.
Oh, okay. So the Mercury retrograde in your 7th is going to get you thinking about whether or not you kind of get back in action. I think with the sextiles to the South Node, that's really positive, and the sextiles also to Jupiter, it's going to kind of get you out there. But I think it's about meeting people in other places. I had a feeling you were Cancer placements only because you have all this fire, and to me it looks like you're very overwhelmed. So I know the water signs have been definitely feeling that throughout Sag season, and I would say don't think so much about how you need to go about meeting people. Be focused more on just going out and going places, doing things, like experiencing. Go to other parts of the city, go to neighboring cities, try to meet people in other places. This seems to be the best way to kind of work with this energy. And I feel like Pluto finally leaving your 7th house and the Mercury retrograde is wrapping all that up, and you're looking for something with more depth in this next year. And maybe this is about activity, so classes, courses, you know, physical fitness, like going and like joining groups and people who are like doing things actively can be really good, especially with all these planets in Sagittarius right now. So it's trying to get you to focus on something that's going to be kind of changing up your schedule in a little bit, and that's going to make it, first of all, easier for you to connect with new people, but also it's going to take your mind off of this whole, how do I meet people and what do I do? It's like, no, just go and be in the moment, and then you're going to have a better opportunity to be able to connect with people. But to me, it seems like there needs to be some sense of making active changes in your schedule, right? Hopefully that's helpful for you, Tess. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. Let's see. Who else do we have here? Alana. Thank you for waiting, Alana. It looks like your question is a tarot card. General.
When will I meet my person?
Love reading. When will I meet my person?
Boom.
Thanks, Tess. Come join me. My astrology course starts in January. It's going to be on Sundays. Those of you guys who want to learn astrology with me, you can check out my website at Beyond the Veil Tarot. I'm going to be teaching my level 2 astrology for transits and predictions.
We do have the 9 of Pentacles and the 2 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles is Jupiter in Cap. This is a Virgo. So when will you meet your person? When you are fully focused on what it is you're meant to do and are currently doing. 2 of Pentacles and 9 of Pentacles is a utility that comes with practicality. You're so focused on really working on your personal passions. 2 of Pentacles is someone who's getting a new business off the ground. So when you meet your person, you're going to be so focused on the work you're doing, you're not looking for them. This could even be the archetype of your person. They could be the Virgoan, very hard-working type of person. But to me, this looks like you're hustling so hard that your person is gonna admire your hustle. They're gonna be like, damn, like she has multiple income streams. She's able to basically like, if you had nothing right now, you have the ability to just adapt to your situation and hustle and make a living. So you're going to really you're already doing this. There's nothing that you have to do. Just keep doing what you're doing, because you kind of keeping this practicality is going to sustain the lifestyle that will support this person coming in. So that's really beautiful.
Exciting.
Yeah.
We've got Miss Thompson. You have been so patient. Thank you for your patience. She says, I have a date scheduled for the 27th after Christmas break. How will it go? Let's take a look and let's see what it looks like for Miss Thompson in terms of getting her date on after Christmas time.
Yeah. And
I think, is this the last one? Mm-hmm. I think so, right?
The very last.
All right, so let's see.
For the last pick a card sex reading. And really just reading in general.
All right, so this was the order that I had. 9 of Cups, the Chariot, the Queen of Wands. Hi. I'm liking that. First of all, the 9 of Cups is like having a good time, everything going your way, getting your wish, maybe hoping you could connect with this person, hoping that you're going to meet someone like this. This tells me that you're feeling very fulfilled in regards to this union. I also like this as a date card because it's like going out, having drinks, having a good time, really enjoying yourself, or having dinner and just loving the company and feeling like everything's coming together and you're like, I have to pinch myself, like, is this too good to be true? The Chariot talks about forward motion. So it says that it has room to grow. So it's not like you just go on a date and it's like, whatever, I don't hear anything. Things might actually progress very rapidly in terms of the relationship. You guys might start talking about going on a trip together. You might start talking about your plans. There can be a sense of somebody talking about traveling, moving, relocating. I don't know what the deal is. Are you going back home and connecting with this person? Are they like, hey, I'm going to be visiting? What's the deal there? The Chariot makes me feel like this is also about getting your ducks in a row, and so it can feel like things start very quickly and you're like, well, this is taking me by surprise, but it also has an effect on you where it gets you thinking about all these different other plans that you have in your life and like where this person coming in might actually change your perspective and change some of your goals for the better. Queen of Wands talks about you having all the power in the situation, or that you're kind of really stepping into your power, feeling like very attractive and magnetic and sexual, and there's a lot of like really feeling yourself and like feeling wanted or feeling admired, and a bit of like somebody who has to kind of pursue you and impress you and kind of chase after you. I don't know if you have any fire placements in your chart in general, but I would say the Queen of Wands is just like going into the date just feeling very, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like feeling yourself, like really feeling like you have really healthy self-esteem and feeling good and feeling wanted and like really being in that. Like let that person chase after you, let that person pursue you. I think you're going to come across as somebody who's very driven and very desirable, because what you're hoping to achieve and what you're kind of building and doing in your life, professionally, creatively, whatever. And they're going to see you as somebody who's like a go-getter, because the Chariot with the Queen of Wands is like somebody who's literally going after, you know, what they want in life, and they find that very attractive. And you might be connecting with somebody who's like a vibrational match, and you're like, wow, I've also been doing me, and you're working on your life goals, and you have all this success going on, and like it might feel like it's like a vibrational match, you know? Just really be confident is the best advice that I can give you, and like be yourself. It looks like it's gonna go well. Of course, Mike has to give you guys a pick a card sex reading.
The very last one.
And just a heads up, when the live is over, we have like a compilation of like all like some of our moments together. So if you guys want to stay tuned, once the live is done, we're gonna stream that for you. So stay tuned until after the very last pick a card sex reading, and you guys can see some of the best moments from the Midheaven podcast. For those of you guys who didn't see the beginning, this is our very last episode that we're going to be doing for now. We're taking a bit of a hiatus into the spring. We're going to come back hopefully with season 3 and try to find a way to reformat things. Sorry. Because I am moving out of state, and we're going to take a break and strategize how we can create some new content and keep this bad boy rolling. Maybe we'll cut back to me crying. Maybe we won't. It doesn't happen often. my tears cure cancer, so.
Hey, I like that. I like that. So this is definitely talking about breaking through into some life purpose, the one, connecting with who you meant to, but putting in that work. Your work is paying off. There's a lot of hard work out to put in, but screw all that. Pile 1, we have, of course, the 2 of Cups. This is committed poontang. This is sex that just continues on, and you grow closer and catch feelings for each other. 2 of Swords is also talking about committed mutual love. So this is awesome. You all gonna have chemistry. Pile 2, we have the Queen of Wands. This is a monster. She's gonna completely degrade you. She's gonna say that you ain't shit. She's gonna talk shit in bed to you, but she's gonna give it to you the way that you want. Some of you are this woman and you know you ain't shit. You know you're gonna completely just destroy your partner in bed and you're gonna love it. You're gonna degrade your partner and they're gonna love it too. So this is beautiful. This is very passionate. This is very fun. I said you ain't shit, but you know you are the shit. Everyone knows you're the shit. And this is just gonna be awesome in how you just completely dominate and just not give a fuck about who you're having sex with. You're just gonna completely violate them in bed and they're gonna thank you after you violate them. And then we have pile 3, the 7 of Pentacles.
Gotta work for it.
Yeah.
Better work.
You've been patient. Pile 3, you've been very patient. This is finally paying off. I feel like this is some investment pussy or some investment dick. Some of you have been investing in some dick and it's gonna pay off in you. And then we do have some. This is definitely, I feel like some of you are impatient. Don't be impatient here. You're working towards something that's worth it, okay? If you pick pile 3, you need to spend more time in foreplay. You need to spend more time building up. And you're gonna learn that foreplay is actually...
I am that dog, I am the monster.
Pile number 4, we have no strings attached sex.
What is it, 4 of Swords?
4 of Swords, yep. This is definitely very chill. This is platonic. You can have sex with a platonic friend, no strings attached.
Or a sex doll, that's very sex doll, because it doesn't fight back.
It doesn't fight back. It's very chill though. This is very satisfactory. It's very And pile number 5, we have the 9 of Swords reversed. So you are clearing anxiety. This is the darkest before dawn. This looks like such a depressing card, but the reversal is definitely talking about you finally getting fucking laid. I feel like some of you haven't been laid forever. Not because you can't, but because you've just kind of isolated yourself or you've just not been in that mood. And finally, it might even fall in your lap for some of you, but I feel like with the 9 of Swords, even if it's, you might have the most epic masturbation session.
And then cry afterwards.
Like, All right, happiness, that's amazing.
You guys are the best. We love you guys so much. Make sure you stay subscribed. You can follow us on Instagram. We have an Instagram podcast for the Midheaven podcast. You can follow us separately too. We have Mike the Peace Dealer on all the social medias and YouTube. He's always streaming. You can follow me at Beyond the Veil Tarot and Astrology on YouTube. Not many people know I have my own channel. We're doing horoscopes and videos every week, and I'm also teaching astrology, and I've got calendars out and all kinds of cool stuff, so check out my channel as well. Big thank you to everybody. It's been a really fun...
It's been real!
2 years, and we're so glad that we did it, and you guys are the best community ever. Thank you for your donations, your support. We appreciate you guys. We love you so much, and with that, we will see you very soon.
If I had wings.
Welcome to the Midheaven podcast. We are your hosts, Candice Marie.
And this is the Peace Dealer.
You look like Black Santa.
More barbecue sauce. Extra crispy chicken.
Fuck, we're gonna get roasted on this one. I'm crying right now. A bitch is gonna start getting shiny. Stop. Okay.
Dealer wrapped it up. I wanted to make that as crazy as possible.
And in my heart,
so, you know, it's been nice knowing you. But we'll already see y'all on the other side. The lotion gods have spoken.
So we just want to say thank you.
That's right.